Hey gorgeous ones. All right, so time for let's talk eyeshadows. Let's talk eyeshadows. It's June. We're gonna be talking eyeshadows. And because I have on this beautiful warm eye look that I just did the review on, I just decided, why don't we just talk about warm eyeshadows? It just makes sense. It's such a good segue in my filming. All right, so if you would like to hear about 10 great warm tone palettes that I love, don't go anywhere. So we're going to be talking about warm tone palettes. They came up because I had put on this beautiful warm tone look and I said, hey, and there's this thing, and I don't know, like people who have a lot of shadows, when you get in, you know, a lot of palettes and things, when you get in this vibe of buying certain colors, like I've been buying a lot of pinks, I've been buying a lot of blues, a lot of greens, Lord knows I have. And then you're like, whoa, I don't really have that many of this. And in my head, I was telling myself that I didn't have that many warm tone palettes because I really had pulled off buying them. But I then just went through them. I said, okay, girl, you tripping. So let's talk warm tone palettes. And you know what I'm going to start out with? I'm going to start out with the first one that I bought that I was like, heard so much about. It was like, oh my God, this is it. And it was the Yes Please palette by ColourPop. I think this is their first, you know, pressed shadow palette. And it is nice. Now, is it perfect? No, of course not. There are some that aren't that great in here, but if someone wants to start out and get some warm tones, you cannot beat this palette. It's just so beautiful. It has a nice brown in it. It has some beautiful orangey colors with a little coral in it. And then it gives you some nice shimmers. We all, you know, this was the first, I think the ColourPop's formulation has gotten better, but this was a really good start for this type of palette. All right, so the next up is this one, and I just did the review on it. This is the Visart Warm Edit. She's such a pretty, cute little thing. She's a tiny little thing, but it's 12 pans, beautiful colors, and the beautiful color scheme, because like you have all these orangey yellows right in here, and then they give you some, you know, more neutrally beigey tones right here that you can play with, and then it gives you the darker tones right here and some nice darker shimmers just in case you want to go with a brown shimmer, or you know, they give a pop of color outside of these warm tones with this little berry shimmer. And it was very well done. But Visart traditionally does very nice eyeshadow palettes. This is only my second one, but I can say that I do like it. It was worth the $39, even for the size it is, considering it's a tiny little palette. All right, now we're gonna talk about a couple of matte palettes from my girls, my ladies from Dose of Colors. Now these are the Sassy Siennas and the Baked Browns. I think they kind of work together. These colors are so beautiful. They're, you know, corals, and they got the orangey colors, all matte. Dose of Colors matte palettes like these are really nice. They're kind of pricey because you're only getting 5 and they're about $32, so they are kind of pricey, but I honestly like them enough that I like to get them in for the price. And you cannot beat the colors. Now, they are tonally very close to each other, but if you put them together with another palette like the Baked Browns right here, you can come with a very beautiful look. And so the Baked Browns work beautifully together with the Sassiennas, and then, you know, just throw a little, you know, shimmer on them at lid if you want to, or go all matte with these. You know, it's up to you, but this is a good, I like these for the quality, not necessarily for the price. However, Dose does go on sale, especially, honey, they Black Friday sale was really good. So if you're thinking about getting them, wait until then, because I know this year they had a vault with all of the 5 pans, and it was such a good deal. So I wouldn't say rush out and get these right now, but wait for a sale. You know, these are permanent. You don't have to rush. No rush. No rush. No rush. All right. Now I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna do this one, which is the Good Sport palette by ColourPop. Now I got this late in the game. I didn't expect, I kept hearing about it. People, oh, the Good Sport, the Good Sport. Now it's so wonderful. And I was like, yeah. And then I got it on a sale and I was like, what? Do you see this beautiful colors? We had, looking right here, you have all these beautiful, you know, this beautiful burgundy right there. And then I love the pasta colors because they're these purples as opposed to the blues that we've been seeing so much of. Or, you know, they could have done like some you know, more pinky colors. No, they went with purples. And then they have a little gray in here. So it has a mix of cool and warm tones. But I put it in with the warm tones because it does have quite a bit of warm tones in it. Baby, this is worth the hype that they gave it. I was like, no. Because, you know, like Morphe gets a lot of hype, right? Morphe gets a lot of hype, and then I cannot buy a Morphe palette and be okay. But it's something about ColourPop. You know, I'll feel it and I'll get the call for it and I'll be like, okay, let me go on and get it then. Y'all right. All right, so next up, we're going to get into some more indie brands. If you notice, most of my stuff is indie brands. Or very, you know, oh wow, yeah, a lot of these are indie brands. Okay, because I've been doing a lot of indie brands. We're going to go with this one. This is a tiny palette. This is the Courtship palette by Menagerie Cosmetics. Now this I love because it's a warm tone, but it's not that basic warm tone where it's like browns, a little oranges. They went in with more of a burgundy with a salmony pink and then a little brown and then these beautiful shimmers in here, which were like this is a gold and then this is a pink, but it's got a little duochrome to it. So this is a really pretty I like it for the fact that it's not just like a regular warm tone palette. You know, it's kind, I like mine to be a little more interesting, and I think for a while that's why I wasn't buying warm tone palettes, because they were all kind of looking the same to me, and I was like, yeah, okay, I don't need them. I'm good. Oh, let me take this off for a second. Give me a second. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna take that all out. All right, so next up is, y'all know, okay, no, I got one other big one. Okay, let's go with this one, Naked Heat. Now I know people either like the Naked Heat or they don't like the Naked Heat, but let's talk the Naked Heat. This is a warm tone palette. Now yes, tonally it's very almost monochromatic, you know, and it's very, and people are always like, oh, you can't do a lot with it. But I think they're wrong. I think there's a few more looks that you can get with them. They don't always look alike, but they look similar. Let's say this, they're always going to look similar. And there's room for similar in a collection. So I really love the way it looks. I think this is it was well done because it has just a few shimmers. We got what, 4 shimmers, the rest are mattes, which is so not Urban Decay because they tend to lean toward a lot of shimmers, which is why I really like this one. And so yeah, this is one of my favorite, and I haven't been wearing you. I'm so sorry. I need to start wearing you again. I've been remiss. All right, so now this one I finally got. This is like the ColourPop Good Sport. I heard so much about this palette and I was like, okay, I just can't follow the masses like this. I just cannot follow the masses like this. But then I tried some other things and I wound up getting this. So it is the Queen of Hearts by Colored Rain. This is such a pretty warm tone palette. And not only is it a beautiful palette, but the Colored Rain formula is very nice. You know, the mattes are beautiful. Look at that blue. They're a little powdery. They can be a little dry, but they blend so well. You don't care about that. You don't care about that at all. So these are, and the shimmers are gorgeous and they feel just wet and they're just gorgeous and they just glide on. And this is such a like beautiful, you can figure out an easy way to make a look, because it's, you know, you've got your brighter colors in here, you got these beautiful shimmers, and then you have your bone and your mid-tone browns that you can then and they've got 2 types of mid-tone browns for lighter skin and deeper skin. So it's a really good put together shall I say it, cohesive palette. I hate saying that word, y'all know that. You know I hate to say it, but it is kind of cohesive. I will give them that. The thing about this though, you have to keep it in the sleeve because then it looks really hot and pretty. The regular thing is kind of like boring. It's kind of like Pat McGrath, which I don't have, but I'm just saying about packaging. Now this is what actually got me to buy the Queen of Hearts. No, I bought this afterwards. Once I bought the Queen of Hearts, I bought the Beauty Rust by Color Rain. And this is such, I really have been enjoying small palettes. And this is a 6-pan, and this is just, look, you can't, it's warm tone. It's warm tone, but it has a little something different. And that's this color right here. Now, mind you, the formula is just so buttery, so pretty, it's so pretty. But this is called Daisy, and it's kind of a mustardy yellow with the orange in it. So it's like a mustard orange, I would say, because it got a little orange in it. But look at that orange, which is beautiful and a little different than what you normally see in them. And that's kind of like why I like some of the palettes that I have, because they are traditional, they are warm tones or cool tones or brights, but I look for different colors, different, you know, where there's a slight variation that you don't normally see, and that's what the Beauty Rust has. Next up is Ace Beauté, and I had to figure this out because I had two of them out, but then I went with the Classical Paradise, which is this one, and I absolutely love this palette. Mainly the things I really love is this golden apple, because it's such a different green, and then the maize in here and the sunflower, this vegetation, they really took a warm tone and really made it their own with colors that, you know, different variations on these colors that you just don't always see. And then they give you colors, these shimmers like this one, which is mineral, and I really didn't expect it because in the pan it looks kind of muddy, but then when you play with it, it's got this little duochrome almost rose gold effect. And then this one right here, Hay, is the one I use a lot. It's a little bit lighter and just, you know, the tone, but it's got a little, it's like a pinky peachy color. So it's not quite pink and it's not quite peach, it's like a pinky peachy. So it gives, so that's why I really like it, because when you look at it, it's like, oh shit, this is warm. This is warm with a cocktail. This is like cocktail warm. Like when you going out to a cocktail party in the fall, this is the kind of colors you want to be wearing. Did I make it sound? Did I sell it? Did I sell it? Now finally, this one is here, and not because it's the best or anything. It was just in the stack like that. And this is the Pumpkin Spice by Peachy Queen, and here it is right here. Now I don't even have to say nothing. The only thing I don't like is this ugly little black glitter thing going on. Don't like that at all. But otherwise, it's a very beautiful palette. I haven't used it as much because I wasn't really doing this, and I didn't even expect it. This, you know, there's a story behind it. But look at this yellow. This yellow is a stop traffic yellow, and it's not as chalky as a lot of yellows, so it's a little more creamy. It has a more creamy texture. And then I do like this orange because it's kind of like a red orange. Got a little fire in it. So it's almost, you know, it's like a red with just a tint of orange in it to make it where if you are fearful of wearing a full-on red, this will give you enough orange in it that you could say, okay, I could use this. I could work it. And her shimmers are nice. I really love my Kush Queen. And because I wasn't in this mode, I didn't use this as much as I could. But, you know, this fall, I think I'm going to have to pull out the pumpkin spice. All right, so that was it for 10 warm palettes. I tried to pull out some that you might not have seen before, or, you know, aren't always on everybody's list of palettes. So I tried to give you all some options that were a little more interesting from indie brands and maybe some brands that you have not gotten into, you know, delved into, but would be great, awesome ones to try out. So if you like, so did I say that? All right, leave a comment or two telling me what's your favorite warm palettes. I would love to hear about it. And as always, it's your Lulu. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. Spirit fingers.